Good morning, I'm J. Lenora Bressler. Welcome to the May 29th, 2017 edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details. Today I want to talk to you about a very overlooked, small detail, but I think it's important, in the story of the taking of the Holy Land and the entrance into back into Canaan by the Israelites, into the land that God had promised them. You may remember that although the Lord promised them the land, they did have to work for it. They did have to fight for it. Well, most of us think about the entrance into the Holy Land being through Jericho, and that's true. Jericho had to fall first. That was kind of the gateway into the rest of the Holy Land. But there were a couple of smaller tribes who liked the land that was before Jericho, on the other side, on the initial side, the east side of the River Jordan. And they specifically came to Moses prior to going into the land proper and asked if they could settle in that area. It was to the east of the Jordan. And so once Jericho fell, they could have their land. That land was beautiful, it was spacious, and it was now free for settlement. But of course, there was an issue here, because if they stayed, that would be fewer men to fight on behalf of the rest of the Israelites. And Moses said, yes, you may have this land, but you need to come and help your brothers, help them. And in Joshua 1, 14 to 15, we see this wonderful statement. You need to help your brothers until the Lord gives them rest, until they have their own places. And then you may return to this land in the east, near the sunrise. You know, so many times I think people think, well, I've got mine, and they don't worry about other people. And I'm not talking just about money. I'm talking about spirituality. I'm talking about your salvation. You know, just because you're saved doesn't mean that you're supposed to just say, oh, well, you know, me, my wife, and our children, we got ours. Oh, well, who cares? It is imperative that we help our brothers and sisters in the world. Not just our brothers and sisters in Christ, although we are supposed to give special credence to them and help them especially, but to all of our brothers and sisters as children of God. We're not supposed to be satisfied just because we are. We need to look around us and see, where do people need help? Now, it's interesting, we're to help, we're not to do it for them. People still have independent responsibility, and we know that is especially true when it comes to their own salvation. We can't save people. Our beliefs will never save somebody else. They will rise and fall on their own beliefs and behaviors. However, we are called to help in every way we can. So however it is that you can help, I think it's important, and we are called to do that, not just to be satisfied. And that means giving your life to other people. Now, I don't mean that you have to always die for them, although God may call you to do that. But I think you know what I mean. There's a way that you help people that's of a little help, and there's another way that you help where you give your whole self to them. And that is what these people were called to do in ancient Israel. You get out of your comfort zone. You don't worry about your pride. You don't worry about your position. You do whatever it takes to help them gain their home. And for the Christian, we know home is salvation in Jesus Christ. Give your whole self to people, and then that is how to be truly helpful. I'm J. Lenora Bressler. Visit me on the next edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details. Have a great Memorial Day.